Welcome to the AVNI Interviews. We are your hosts, Eric Bork and Mikey Taylor.
What up?
We're the co-founders of AVNI, an intelligence brand for influencers and entrepreneurs. Here on the AVNI Interviews, we interview people who are doing the work they want and the lifestyle they love. Our guest today is George Gankas, golf at. He is pissing people off in golf, doing his thing, making waves in the golf world, charging more money than some lawyers per hour, and killing it online. We're stoked to have him here. George, thanks for coming out, man.
Thanks for having me. This is cool to be here.
Yeah, that intro was...
Did we do it?
That was a good intro.
There we go.
Dude, the good thing about this is the cool thing for me is that I basically just started golfing. So, a year and a half ago, it's my birthday. We're at Stonehouse, Sean Malto and my buddy Paul Rodriguez come to my dinner or whatever, and they got me a set of golf clubs, right? Nice. Never played golf, never knew anything about it. That was my present. Damn. Because Sean wanted me to golf with him, right?
Were they good clubs or were they shitty clubs?
They were tailor-made afterburners,
okay.
maybe?
Well, I've never heard of them.
Okay. They were like some startup
We all
shit.
heard of tailor-made, but not afterburners.
But anyway, right?
Okay.
So I know nothing about it.
They hooked you up?
Yeah, they hooked me up, whatever. Knew nothing about golf, so I go online, right? Go on Instagram. And all of a sudden, I start searching for golfers, and George Gankas pops up, right? And I'm like, who is this guy? Got 80,000 followers, right? And I'm like, holy shit, this is Westlake. This dude's teaching at Westlake. And a year later, we're on a podcast together.
It's pretty sick.
You're blowing up Sean's swing last night.
Oh, damn. Let's talk about Sean's swing.
Let's talk about Malto.
Can we talk about Malto?
Yeah.
All right, let me tell you about Malto. That guy's a superstar. His backswing needs a lot of work. But his downswing is legit, like a PGA Tour legit. Honestly, I love it.
It's smooth, right?
No, it's not smooth. His lines are good. He is right on plane. His rotation's sick. His path to face control is if anybody knows anything about that, it's just there is no manipulation to club face through the ball. It's very passive. It's everything a tour player is looking for. But in the backswing, he's got a little work. Okay. And he can get a little. Oh, you can come and see me.
Okay.
There we go.
So break down what you do.
What I do is actually I try and get people to get better at golf. First off. And lately, people have been traveling from all over the world to see me because of social media. So that being said, it's more of a technical thing than me being a coach. So things have changed. So is that good for me or bad? It's debatable. I mean, to me, it's just cool that people are coming from everywhere to see me. It's flattering.
Yeah.
But is that what I'd rather do? I'd rather be a coach than a technician. And I've turned it more into a technician because everybody comes to me and goes, show me your swing. And I'm like, I don't have a swing. How this shit, you got to hit it good. And that's the way it's kind of come to.
So you started off as a caddy.
I did start off as a caddy. I started out playing college ball. I started real late.
So you were playing. Was the initial run, I want to be a pro golfer? Or want to be on tour?
I just started real late, and you know what? My technique was really bad.
What's late in golf? 18. Okay.
17. Yeah. Considering my buddies who were starting at 8 or 10. And so I started late. I played at a junior college, walked on, got a partial scholarship at Northridge.
Wait, hang on.
Yeah.
You're 18 when you start. You went to college, 19 or 20?
18, 19, 20, legit. I
so
tried out for the junior college at Ventura College.
In 2 years, you're trying out and got a partial scholarship.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so something was going.
D1, yeah. So we were pretty solid. I wouldn't say it was good because I wasn't, but I got good fast for the time being. And so after that, I wanted to turn pro, and I was just studying a bunch of swings. And meanwhile, I could either be a waiter or work at Sherwood as a caddy, and I decided to caddy. So it was cool. So I could play golf, 4 hours of work and go play. When I was that young, I chose to caddy.
Okay.
That's the start.
And then that naturally turned into you working with guys, or
what happened was
swing coach or what?
Well, what's funny is that I was tired of running around and raking bunkers and doing stuff like that. Because it does get tiring. I give a lot of credit to caddies. There's nothing against them. It's a hard job, and it's demanding. And I was like, you know what? I've studied so much, and people were starting to ask me questions. I was doing playing lessons on the course, And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do half and half. And so I made this transition into teaching. And I was lucky enough to meet a guy named Darren Angel in like 2003 to 2006 who made it on the tour. Then right after that, I met Danny Wax, who made it on, at the time, it was the nationwide tour. And then my teaching career just hit off with like juniors and so on. And here we are.
So here we are now. Who are some of the guys you're teaching? Who are some of the guys that you can talk about teaching?
Well, I can talk about, first off, as far as a PGA Tour player.
You're like, yeah.
Okay, so I can talk about, as far as PGA Tour players right now, I've got a guy named Sung Kang, who's a top 100 player in the world. I'm working with Danny Lee right now, Padraig Harrington, who's a legend, won 3 majors. I got another guy that I really can't mention.
Is this who I seen you at Rivy with?
Yeah, that'd be the guy that I saw at Rivy.
Can you confirm if it was Adam Scott?
Well, I can't confirm that, but but there would be.
The streets are talking, Doc.
Then I got some guys on the web. My favorite guy, like one of my favorite guys. I shouldn't say my favorite guy, but Johnny Ruiz is like.
Oh yeah,
love
he's
the kid.
from here.
And you know his brother,
his
right?
Little brother Jake,
skater.
incredible skater. Yeah.
So and then I've got Johnny Ruiz, who I love, and then Matt Wolf is basically the number 2 golfer in college golf right now. He's at Oklahoma State. He's like the guy's a superstar. He's gonna
So
be
how many of them
amazing.
are online? Do you have any online only, or is it all in person?
I have a lot of people online that I teach. So when I do an online lesson, you know, a lot of times they don't tell me the background. They just tell me what's wrong with their swing. And then I find out later that they're winning tournaments or whatever it is. But it's cool to do the online part too, because I'm reaching out to people all over the country.
And what, you're going live with them?
No. They'll send me videos and I'll just do it on my V1 or my other platform. And it just depends. You know, they'll send me 2 videos and I'll write up a whole review. And then a week later, I'll do a recap.
Oh, nice.
And make sure that they're right. And so it's going pretty good.
That is cool.
It is cool.
Yeah.
It's hard to do with the time that how much time I've been putting on the mats.
I see you there all day, man. You are on the grind.
Yeah, you're posting on Insta every day.
It's
Like, it's
impressive.
crazy.
I could post 10 to 12 lessons a day, but I would lose my mind.
So how many people now how many people say, George, I want to lesson with you, but I want you to put me on your Instagram.
You know what's funny?
Is that a big incentive for people to want to get a lesson with you?
It's funny because people are like, that's a gram swing, huh? And I'm like, what? We're 5 minutes into the lesson and they're already talking about a gram swing. I'm like, yeah, I could tell you want to get on the gram. Cool, I'll get you on. And then there's times where I'm like, I'm working with a good player and I'm like, I'm not going to put you on. And they're like, I don't care. It's cool.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's guys that'll be like, I'm working with somebody else. Let's keep it down low. And I'm like, you should tell your other coach because I don't want to disrespect. So there's times where we got like that too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So golf is a pretty like formal, like kind of upper class vibe, right?
Completely.
Do you fit into that?
Definitely not. I haven't fit in that since I was a kid. I would say that it's not that I wanted to break the rules. It's just that I wasn't comfortable.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. I was never comfortable tucking my shirt and I was never comfortable wearing the shoes that they want. Never comfortable with the posture and all just a lot of things that came along with the bougie shit. Yeah.
So what was that? Was that hard getting in? Was that hard for you to basically?
Yeah, it was for sure. I mean, people always talk trash, tuck your shirt. And even on the tour, people say that and I laugh. And if you knew what I told them back, you'd laugh.
So when, let's say this wasn't 2018. Let's say it was 15 years ago. Do you think you would have become kind of this presence you are today without having to build a brand or kind of take the side door in?
Well, without social media, there's no chance. So I think that's elevated me to where I'm at for sure. Because if not, I'd still be probably running the junior game, and I'm not running the junior game anymore because I charge too much. But if I charged what I did, 5 years ago, I would definitely be running the junior game still. And that's what people would know me for. But now it's come to a time where I had to change my game up and, I don't want to say move on because juniors are my passion. I love teaching them probably more than tour players.
Yeah, but I feel like that's just the natural progression of it for you to.
It is. And a lot of my juniors that I grew up with are now going to be turning pro and it's kind of exciting to see them progress.
So you're, I don't want to sing like this bad boy, but like you're different to the norm of golf, right? Would you say?
Can you tell? Has that pissed anyone off? Like,
a lot of people when I first came up, especially with some of the philosophies that I came up with. I wouldn't call it philosophies, but just the differences of technique and the presentation of the way I came off is kind of cocky or kind of like a know-it-all, or the way I dress, stuff like that probably pissed people off a lot. But it wasn't intentional. I was just like confident in what I was doing.
But your technique is different also, though.
It is different. It's very different.
And break down some of the science real quick.
Well, sciencey wise, I mean, I've always loved like Sam Snead, and there's a lot of similarities in a guy named Jamie Sadlowski, who I love. That's like, I think that if you look at both of their swings, they have very little what we call linear motion off or horizontal motion back. They're pretty much centered, and they just almost sit straight down in the ground. So there's a lot of torque in the ground, like a lot of grip into the ground, and a lot of vertical forces, which is basically like a squat. And the terminology we use is just to be cool, you know what I mean? But really, it's just like you're gripping the ground and you're squatting, just like you're going to do something in skating, like you're going to, throw a jump.
So you're not swinging back to push forward.
No, exactly. If you're not going to do that in a skateboard, are you going to keep your center of mass right under you, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I would assume. So when we do it, there's a lot of speed in what my guys are doing. Also, a lot of like the technique as far as with the arms are very different compared to people trying to be much more, I would say pretty. Okay. That would be the best word for it. I could use some players that wanted to be here. Like some of the guys that I know really well are into this position because it looks prettier, but this is way more powerful. It also helps the club
now you're
transition.
So for those who don't golf, you talk about backswing.
Yeah. So backswing for my players, we for a long time, just so that's the camera I'm looking at, a lot of players have been trying to get into this position because it looks pretty. And so I'm teaching more of this, where this form's parallel spine, this is parallel ground, because that not only creates more speed, but it stretches the muscles to go back this way. And if you want to look this way and people swing it back this way, they end up going this way. So everything kind of works in reverse in golf. So that is a big difference in looks, and people are like, oh my God, that's not right. As far as taking the foot off, that's all old school posture. My posture's not very like athletic. And I've made it that pretty public that being into a stiff position where you look pretty is not biomechanically correct, and the balance points are terrible, and you'll never stay in your posture and rotate. So I've kind of like called out people on that, and people at first didn't like it.
Yeah.
So, and now,
but you're seeing results, though.
Yeah, and people are copying it now for sure.
Yeah.
Not to be cocky, but they are for sure, 100%.
Yeah.
And the reason they're copying is because the old swings worked. And when I say the old swings, like you're talking about Bobby Jones, Sam Snead, Ben Hogan. I mean, all the old school.
So your swing is more of a
old school, yeah, for sure. Their swings weren't broke.
Yeah.
Why did we change? Why did we change Jack Nicklaus? He's the greatest of all time. I mean, I love Tiger. I mean, we can call him the greatest of all time now, or he might be when it's all said and done. That's all a matter of opinion. But in general, why would you change a guy like Nicklaus who was a baller? You know what I mean?
Totally. So you were...
And Tiger was the same swing back then.
Yeah.
Like he copied Nicklaus. Like everything was like that. And then he went off onto a different tangent. And no matter what Tiger swings it like, he's going to be a baller.
So people are basically hitting you up going, I want more power. Or I like basically...
They hit me up for one of four reasons usually that I've broken.
What are the four reasons?
What are the four?
Okay, so one is power.
Okay.
Number two is to actually shallow the club. Shallow in the club means basically...
That's what I asked you about before this podcast started. How do I shallow my swing?
Well, you did. Okay. So let's for people who don't know what shallowing means. Shallowing basically means that this shaft, if I took it back, could be at ball line. If they're like, when I say ball line, like I'm pointing this at the ball in the backswing. And then I get to the top, and this would be steep, where it's not at ball line. This would be what we call shallow. That would be like outside or parallel to the original shaft plane. So let's say this is the original shaft plane. When it comes down, it's parallel to the original shaft line. If it goes this way, it's considered steep. So when it comes steep, the ball goes everywhere. Okay. So that would be the next thing. So one is power. One is the shallow shaft. One is to definitely rotate for sure. Okay. 100%. And I forgot what the fourth was, but who cares? You know what I mean? Maybe to play better.
Shit, man.
But
I'm
basically,
like,
those
look,
are the main.
my-
really
yeah.
big-
Hey, for real, like I wanted George on this podcast to like have a golf lesson.
You getting the golf? He's getting the goblet.
we can do it. You can get the club.
So
we can go to work.
So I have a question. Let's talk about you first started teaching in person,
Yeah.
and then how did it start with going online? And I just want to point out, George does a lot, like really good teaching online. So tell us how you got started
you were
doing
kind of the
that.
pioneer in it. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the first, I would say, in a few parts. Like YouTube's been out forever. I wasn't the first at YouTube, but I was one of the first 100% of doing, I wouldn't say live lessons, but like I'm actually in a lesson teaching a person that I just first met. Okay.
Got you.
Because usually if you go and I'm going to give a lesson on YouTube, I'm going to be like, hey, we're going to talk about the backswing. Okay, so if you take it back, blah, 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 and we're going to talk about the backswing, and I'm just me, or I'm with the guy and we're talking about backswing, and I already have it pre-recorded or rehearsed. This isn't rehearsed. If I mess it up, I mess
got
it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So live would be like you're on live chat with like Instagram, but that's not what I mean by live. But there was never a second take on YouTube, and every one of those is posted. So that's different. First off, the next thing is I had a guy who used to be my partner in an online thing that he came out of nowhere and says, hey, you want to start something? And I didn't think that anybody would even give a shit, to be honest. They're like, do you want to do this? And I'm like, I don't think anybody's going to really care, you know? And he's like, no, dude, your players are killing it. And so he talked me into it. And you know, that was the one good thing that I will give him some props, that he was right, that people did want to hear some stuff.
So at this point, you have your Instagram,
Yeah.
you have your YouTube. And
At the time we're talking?
At this time we're talking.
No, I didn't have the YouTube yet.
So it was just
set it
Instagram.
up together. Yes, I just had Instagram.
So where did this guy find you? How did he see you and go, you know what, I can actually build a subscription learning site with this guy?
Well, one night, him and Bubba came up, and Bubba was asking me to get some balls for him, okay?
And for the audience that don't know golf, explain Bubba.
Okay, so Bubba Watson is a friend of mine. Bubba was one of the, for the guys who don't know him, he's a lefty. He wears he has a pink driver. For a while, he's playing a pink golf ball. He's like a superstar, like the guy's a baller. Smashes the ball. One night he comes up and this guy that was my partner before we split was actually working with him as a trainer. And he said, hey, dude, can you get me some balls? And I said,
Who said this? Bubba?
Bubba said, hey, bro, can you give me some balls? And I'm like, nah. I said, the balls are in there. And he's like, no. We need some balls for a picture. And I'm like, can't get you any balls because I'm in a lesson. And the ball's over there. And he's like, come on, bro, give me some balls. And I'm like, listen, bro. And I said, you know what? I'll break out this wallet. And he just took off. That's how I first met Bubba. Okay. Whether Bubba knows that or not, I hope he knows, because I love the guy. He's cool as hell. But that's how I first met Bubba, and he wouldn't even remember that. But the guy who I was partners with was there watching it. And he's like,
Oh, and that's how you met him.
that's how I met him. He's like, hey, man, I love your stuff. He's like, I'm actually a trainer for Bubba, blah, 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 blah. And next thing you know,
Like, let's do an online
a
thing.
year later, he comes up to me. They're not working together anymore. He comes up to me and he's like, you want to do some work? And I'm like, probably not. And he goes, why not? And I go, because nobody wants to watch my shit. Nobody cares. He's all, no, people are watching on Insta. You have a pretty good following. I'm like, I don't even remember. I probably had 5,000 or 10,000 followers at the time. He's all, no. We can make this work. So next thing you know, I said, you know what? Screw it. If you want to waste your time, let's do it. So we did it, and it started to work. And people didn't like it at first. A lot of people didn't, and a lot of people loved it. So it was kind of controversial because the style was different. Everything was different.
So break down what it. I know you were teaching golf on it, but how did the site work? It was a monthly fee.
It was, well, no, we started out originally as a
Or it was a yearly.
fee.
That's right.
We started out as
okay.
a yearly. Some was like 300, 400, 500. I don't even remember what it was.
That's
It
right.
was like 2, 3, 4, 5. There was all different categories when you got in, all the rest.
Yeah, because I remember
And
the
I didn't
Instagram.
really know what was going on.
I remember the Instagram post. It was like Christmas or something. You post something in your backyard. You're like, for Christmas only, you sign up right now. It's $150 for the year. Or
Did I
something.
say that?
Yeah. Because I was like,
That was just a
I'm
good
an
deal.
idiot.
this is before I knew George. I was on this like, shit, should I do it?
Yeah.
But I didn't do it, dog.
I don't remember saying that, but I probably did.
So it started off 500. Then it turned into a monthly service.
It turned into monthly because he thought it would be better as a monthly, and he was correct.
Okay. And how many subscribers did you guys have before you broke? So you guys are not partners now.
No,
there was
we're not
kind
partners.
of
there was a big beef. There was there's some stuff that went down that
well, let's get.
I'd like to talk about, but like some of the things I can't talk about because of litigation and I don't want to get sued and stuff like that. So I got to be careful.
So we'll come back to that. And
but we can talk
pry
about
you
it.
for
Yeah,
that.
you can pry me about it.
So while it was happening though, how many at the height of it? How many subscribers did you have? Do you know?
I don't know that. I would say, I think anywhere between 2,000 and 6,000 at the time.
2 and 2. Okay, that's a significant amount, right?
It's a significant difference between 2,000 and 6,000. So I don't know.
Well, yeah,
and that was one of the problems.
No,
I don't know, and I should know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Correct?
And just so you know, I'm going to throw this out there right now. I talked to George's new business partner, Morgan, today. Sharp guy. Really sharp guy. He mentioned that when you transitioned at the end, he said there was more like the 2,000 to 6,000. He didn't specify the number, and he told me not to say. But there was between 1,000 and 2,000 at the end of that run. And he's confident that it can get back to not
Where
back,
it was
not like
originally.
it's yeah. And you mentioned some stuff about just if anyone's listening that maybe there was some problems about like people getting billed when they weren't supposed to, and that's what
led me to leave. Really, there was some differences as far as like some of the bills and some of the things that were put on that bill, expenses that I couldn't see. There was no transparency. I couldn't see transparency. And so I didn't know what was really going on, and I can't sit here and bash somebody. It's something I can't do, but I can tell you the truth. I can tell you that I didn't know what was going on, and I wanted to know what was going on, and I couldn't. And because he said he had other businesses that I couldn't see what was really going on, and I didn't agree with that. Then I heard about people were DMing me every day saying, "Hey, how could you charge me for this over? I'm already a member. How could you double charge me?"
Yeah.
It was my monthly was up or my yearly was up and you're charging me again, automatic payment. And I'm like, listen, I told the partner that I was with, I said, listen, I'm getting all these DMs. And I'm getting DMs.
Yeah.
I'm getting like 50 a week. Like crazy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it wasn't no joke.
Okay. Wow.
I'm like, bro, we can't be doing this. So I just didn't agree with the plan. There was way more to it that I can't get into.
Yeah. I mean,
But
I
in
don't want to
general,
push too hard there.
There were
but
some differences for sure that I didn't like, and I didn't want to be attached to anything that I felt that I didn't agree with.
Totally.
And because I really cared about the members, and that's basically the money will come if you do the right thing. And so I'm trying to help as many people out to get better at golf, and that's what I've always tried to do. And you get paid for that automatically. But if you're trying to make money, you ain't gonna make money. Yep. So that being said, to end it in short and sweet, as far as with the deals that we did, I was like, you know what? I got to separate myself from this whole situation. He started certifying people as GG Swing Tips instructors. And I'm GG Swing Tips. Okay. And then when I found out that he took my domain name, that was the end of it.
So when you guys left,
when you
left, the company didn't end.
No,
the company's still up.
It's still going, and he's still making money off my name. The thing is that if we do go into litigation, I will win 100%.
Yeah.
The fact is, if I go into litigation, he will go bankrupt. I promise you that. There's no guarantees on what's really going to happen, but I can tell you what I think would happen. So the situation, we're trying to find a way to make it work for everyone, so it doesn't get too ridiculous.
So now that you've gone through a partnership that ended badly, if you could have gone back to that day where, this partner approached you about doing this, was there anything that you could have done to avoid this? Any type of vetting, structuring of the deal?
I could have took $12 out of my pocket, and I could have gone to GoDaddy and did it myself. You know what I'm saying?
So he bought the domain.
He bought my name that I had for 3 years before I met him and took it. Is that cool?
Oh, but 3 years before you met.
No. I had GG Swing Tips 3 years before I met this guy. And we went become partners, just like a verbal agreement that we're 50-50 partners. And straight up, we need to get the domain name GG Swing Tips. It's $12, came out of both of our accounts. And so when it came down to the fact that, about 8 months, my lawyer goes, hey, what's going on? And he goes, I own all rights to everything. I'm GG Swing Tips. I own YouTube. I own Facebook, I own Twitter, I own all social medias except for Instagram. And that's immediately when I took him off my Instagram. And
so at this point, there was no signed deal.
There was no signed deal. But the point is like I said before, there's record of every single check that I got, 50%. If we call it 50% after all of the expenses were taken out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So 50% I did get, so there's been an agreement, but now he's telling everybody that, I've been paid my due diligence. So I've been paid now after like us two, whatever, how many years we've been doing business. I don't even know how long it's been, but I do know that I was GG Swing Tips well before I met him. And now I had to change my domain name to George Gankas Golf.
So you had it. Okay. Yeah.
I had it. I am.
So
that's my name. That's my name. George Gankas is GG Swing Tips. Everybody knows who I am.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's in the golf word.
Yeah. Totally.
So with Morgan, your new partner, what did you do this time? Because it's
funny because the other day he says, I put your domain name under, what do you call it? And we had a little discussion. I said, bro, I just called GoDaddy. It's not under there right now. I said, I trust you, but I'm never making the mistake. Transfer that shit over immediately. That's my name.
Have ownership of all your
Hell
accounts.
yeah.
That's one learning point.
It's me having ownership. That doesn't mean
Yeah.
I don't trust him, because
Yeah.
I do trust Morgan. I think he's dope. The difference is we had the discussion, and he understands because he's been burned himself. So
Yep.
we're in a position where it's not trusting. It's just we're gonna do
doing
real
it right.
business. We're gonna do real business now.
Yeah.
And rather as me assuming things or trusting people, I'll never do again. As far as that, I always will trust people, but I won't trust people when it comes to business the way I did before. As far as and by the way, I have verbal agreements with every one of my PGA Tour players, because I think it's kind of like, I don't want to use the word like sleazy, but I think it is, because now it's like, hey, you know what? You play well, you're going to owe me this amount of money. And there's a lot of coaches that are smart doing that. I just am not going to do that. That's one thing I won't do, because I don't want to create like, hey, I own you, or this is what you're going to give me. I'm just going to take it day by day with that part, but everything else I'll have on contract.
And you do good, so they stick with you.
Yeah, I mean, as long as
trust.
I'm not out there for their money, and I think they know that. Because if it was, I'd take a percentage. I don't take a percentage of any one of my PGA Tour players. I could say that, and most coaches do. I'm not going to do it. Yeah. I'll take a day rate, and that's as simple as that. And guess what? I'm going to lose money, but I'm okay with that, because they help my brand, and I help their game. So it's a fair deal. You know what I mean? But it's not about the money, as far as when it comes to the tour players, because they're helping my brand, and that does make me money.
So is there anything else with Morgan that you're setting up that you feel like you're doing correct, just for the audience listening?
Well, I went and did my lawyer. I went with my lawyer, and he's awesome, and he covered me pretty solid. And
so have
Morgan
a lawyer
and I
look it over,
spoke the other day, and I said, there's certain things where I'd say, hey, you got the short end of the stick, but you do this same program with somebody else, it's not going to turn out the same. You got a huge head start. But if you get back to where I was before, you're going to get a huge incentive, and he knows that. So he's going to do solid work. He's a smart dude, and I'm excited.
Yeah, there is an awkwardness between saying, hey, I'm going to have my lawyer, I'm going to do this formally, but it sounds like what you're saying is just you have to do it.
Yeah, it was awkward before. I'm not good with like doing deals. It's like, hey, can you bro me out? Can you give me a deal? And now that's why I got an assistant. My buddy Frank Tesoro, Aaron Smith, whatever you want to call him. He's my boy, but he makes all the decisions as far as, hey, this guy wants a deal. Am I booked? Yeah, he's like, don't give him a deal. I don't have time. So back in the day when I didn't have a full book for 6 months straight, guess what? I'll give you a deal. If you ask me. If not, I'm not going to. But if you're going to ask me, I'm going to hook you up. But now I don't have to do that anymore. But if I was getting on the phone with everybody who called me, guess what? Hey, dude, can you give me a deal? Yeah, I'll hook you up. Because I'm nice. I'll give you a deal. I just want to help you. But the fact is now Frank does the dirty work. And when it comes to my lawyer, to answer your question, I just have to do it the right way. It's like, it's business. And I've never said that before, because I think it sounds like kind of lame, but it is what it is.
I was going to say, so as far as the online teaching, something that you said in the pre-interview is that it's not just the U.S. There's big markets for your online business outside of the U.S. Where are those other markets?
Well, As far as I know, as far as what my statistics are showing on my social media, my number one follower is South Korea, which is interesting. But I also do teach a couple guys on the PGA Tour that are Korean. So that makes sense. But they're a huge market as a whole, and they love golf.
Yeah.
I mean, probably more than we do.
So are you going to have a thing on the new site where
yeah, I think we're 100%. Well, you know what? I don't know.
Translating into Korean?
You know, I'm starting to learn Korean right now. You didn't know
Really?
that?
That's
No.
crazy.
No, I'm not. Just
Sounds like Korean.
I wish I could, because then I'd know when they were talking trash when I'm on the range with them. I got my boy Sung Kang. Shout out to Sung if he ever hears this. Or Danny Lee. When those guys are talking, they're funny. Anytime I know they're talking Korean, they're talking trash to me. It's hilarious. So yeah, we're gonna do it in Korean. One. Then we're gonna do it in, I believe, like 6 other languages.
Huh.
So it'll be cool. And I don't know if they're going to have me subtitled or if they're going to have me dubbing my mouth, speaking in a different
I'm
language.
sure it'll be that's the way that YouTube
hope-
automatically closed captions. You can change the language. So I'm sure that's what it'll be.
Oh, really?
I mean, maybe you'll translate for the bigger markets.
That'd be cool.
But
Either way.
for the closed caption, it can translate language. So I would guess that's what you do, right?
It's cool by me, whatever.
So
it's cool. It's flattering that any country outside of U.S. wants to even listen to what I say.
And is there any other ones besides South Korea?
As far as where else,
Japan.
Japan is a pretty big following right now on my social media. Australia is really big.
Are people flying you out to go do private lessons now?
A lot over Asia.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
You'll
Asia.
fly out to do a lesson in Asia?
Jakarta. I just went.
To Bali?
Yeah. It was
No
sick.
way.
Sick. Super sick.
And what is that? They fly you out, you go for a day, you play golf with them?
No, I'll go for like 3-4 days or something.
Okay.
You know,
amazing.
I mean,
And they're
there's
paying
guys
for
in
all your
Dubai that'll be
expenses.
like, hey, listen, we want to fly you out. And I'm like, you can't afford it. And they'll be like,
Yes, we could.
Yes.
Dubai can definitely
Yes,
afford
we
it.
can.
they laugh at you. Okay. So,
Have you been to Dubai?
no, I haven't. The guy that I've been talking to is like, I'm going to have you come out. And then every time something comes up. So it's something I want to do.
Yeah.
I'd love to. Have you been to Dubai?
No,
Either one of you?
I haven't actually.
I'd love to go there.
Yeah, I would too.
You've been to most places, haven't you?
I've been to a lot, and it's not Dubai.
You?
No, I haven't been to Dubai. I've been to I think 12 countries or something.
Yeah.
But while I'm thinking of this, your content is kind of not like typical. I know we talked about this a little before, but can you tell us a cool story, just one you can think of your content being different?
Go ahead, I'll give them one.
Yeah, let's hear what Mike.
Wait.
Or maybe we should ask Mikey the question.
Yeah, let's hear Mikey's story first.
So Frank, who's one of our buddies,
Oh, yeah.
starts going on this rant on your Instagram about this Aaron Smith guy, right? And I don't know anything about Aaron Smith at this point. I just see Frank talking how does he talk?
So, what up, bro? It's me, Aaron Smith.
Yeah, right? So I see George a couple weeks later. I'm like, dude, what's up with Frank and this Aaron Smith guy? And George goes, Aaron Smith is a real person. I'm like, what? And he goes, one of the greatest golfers I've ever coached. I'm like, are you kidding? I'm like, what happened to him? Fizzled off. So we started making these videos talking shit on him.
It's hilarious.
It's
Well, what
funny.
happened was Aaron Smith and Frank hung out one time together. And he's like, Frank's like, dude, what's up with that guy, dude? All he does, he's got the craziest voice. And I'm like, he's hilarious.
But he rips.
He kills the ball. He swings at 130 miles per hour, which would be the longest on the PGA Tour. Just completely smashes the ball. And he's like, what up, bro? I used to kill the game, bro. I beat Ricky Fowler, Jason Day. I smash everyone. He just always said. So Frank Tesoro will, every time he can actually completely. One day, this is a good story. So one day, I've got Frank Tesoro on the phone, and Aaron Smith's calling me, and I'm all, dude, Aaron's calling in right now. He's all, no way, pick up, go 3-way. So we go 3-way, and Aaron's like, what up, bro? And I'm like, what up? And he goes, what are you doing? And all of a sudden he's like, I'm like, who is this? And he goes, it's me, Aaron. And he goes, and all of a sudden Frank Tesoro goes, no, bro, it's me, Aaron, bro. Who are you? And they're going back and forth. No, bro, who is this? And it's the funniest thing I've ever heard, dude. Frank Tesoro, he's a comedian, and Aaron Smith still a baller.
Well, yeah, and too, I actually don't know if the only other is what's his name from Palm Springs Vintage? Is it
Vintage? My boy David Woods.
David Woods. He's a coach also?
He's awesome. Yeah. David
So like
Woods
most
check
coaches,
his account out. He's got the sickest course. He took us out. Super cool gentleman. He's like. He's a really good coach
and his
too.
kid rips. But most
his kid
coaches,
does rip. You seen his kid?
Yeah, he's sick. Most coaches are like pretty. I don't know.
Stiff?
They're not talking shit. They're like
normal guys.
no, yeah,
Like hi.
right, like super like conventional teacher stuff,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Very low key.
And you see this dude on Instagram, like, I walked by the other day, he put me on his Instagram, right? I'm like, he's like, set up. He goes, man, put your ass in, man. You ain't got back like that. It was on his Instagram. It's just like, and he's in flip flops and beat. You know what I'm saying? It looks like he just rolled out of bed, and he just like is unapologetic about who he is, and it's so different than everyone else.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I researched your stuff. I scrolled like 6 down or something and it hit play. And it was like a dick joke or something.
Yeah.
I was like, this guy's a golfer?
Yeah.
No, I say.
So
some
I just
stupid
want to give
shit
the
for
audience
sure.
a feel. Your content's a little bit different.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, as
Unapologetic,
far as
in your face. That's kind of
technique
your
is different.
your
The way I talk
Everything,
is probably
right?
everything.
So
but I'm not trying to be different.
No,
It's
you're
just,
trying to be you. It's
It is what it is. I've always had my boys were my boys, and we always just talk trash, and we had fun, and the way I look at golf is completely probably not different than everybody, but from a lot of people, as far as the way I looked at it, as far as the way I break it down, I look at it in a way different way than people.
Yeah.
And we actually have some cool stuff now, like this thing called gears. Gears will actually break down the tilts of the body. I've been doing that stuff before they had gears. Like I could tell you the degrees or how much tilt you had at what we call P6 here with a driver compared to an iron, and how open the shoulders are compared to the chest. It's just that I've been a freak with, I'm not saying better than any coach, I'm just saying a freak as far as I can tell you degrees, numbers, and weird stuff just because that's all I look at.
So
Weird stuff.
So there's some pros who have other coaches that don't want to say that they're using you also, right?
Happens a lot.
So why the hesitancy? Is it the
first off,
viewpoint
I
on
think
you
that,
as a person? Is it the technique? Is it the online learning? What is it?
I think one, if I was playing golf for a living, I would be very skeptical about having me as a coach. Okay, I would be like, this guy's a freaking clown. I don't know if I can cuss on here, so I said freaking. Yeah. But he's a clown. This guy says stupid shit. He's out. He looks like he's partying every night, doing drugs. He looks like he's doing stupid stuff. You know
Are you out partying every night doing drugs?
No, I wish I was, but I'm not. No.
George is
I'm
married.
actually a pretty normal guy. I'm married to Justine. So no, I've actually, it's been a long time since I've partied, and I think people still have that idea that I'm still out and about having fun, and I don't. I work all the time. So when you get a guy like who's on tour, who's real well respected, they're like, wow, is this guy going to be a clown when he's on the range with me? He's going to bring his flip-flops, going to have a sideways hat. What's he doing? So things like that, I could see where they'd be a little nervous. I mean, I'd be like, what George am I going to get? But when it comes time to work, it's on. I'm down.
And dude, you work. I see you not only like, I know you're at the range from sun comes up till it goes down. Yeah. You are everywhere on social media. Yeah, I mean, I see every golf post George Gankas like and comment. You're everywhere. And
you can tell when people are working, and you can tell you're working. And also,
people ask if I have a bot. I don't have a robot, by the way.
I don't Mikey gets the same
thing. I know
thing.
you. I get the same thing. People hit me about bots too.
I don't have a bot, bro.
Yeah, and I know that about you. I love it because that's how I am too.
You probably can tell if someone has a bot. I ain't got no bot. No. I ain't got time for that shit.
When George leaves comments like, "Yo, man, leave that bullshit at home. Pull your ass back." You're like, "Okay, this is real." He really programmed this bot, man.
You can tell when people are working, and you can tell when people are authentic. I just met George last night. You could tell you're authentic, man. It's just like transparent. Another thing that I thought of also during the pre-interviewed, we mutually pre-interviewed George, and then I pre-interviewed Morgan, your business partner, today. Very impressed by the guy. Very impressed. And he told me a story I'm going to share. He basically said that there were, and he said he's not even sure if you'll know this, but he sent out an email blast to your 12,000 email followers in regards to you being liked. And he was like, look, I was expecting, anybody would expect back like maybe 10 emails saying like, you're a clown, you're this. and his response was, I got motivational. He's like, I got back, and I'm sure he passed this along to you. I got back email saying, you changed my life. I'm motivated by your fans love you. And of 12,000 emails sent out, he didn't get one back, despite all those DMs you got saying like anything bad about you. So that says a lot right there.
It does. It's flattering, and I appreciate it. And it's most likely because I give a lot of love out. I mean, I'll look at swings at night. They'll be like, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I could fucking do anything I want right now. And I'm helping this fool out that I don't know on my DM right now because he can't play golf right now. And He's like, dude, I'm hitting it left, right, left. So I do spend extra time just randomly looking at DMs. Hey, dude, look at my swing. And, when I didn't have, what I have now, and I had a lot more time to look at swings, I would do it more often. Now I can't, but I still, once in a while, like 5 minutes a night, I'll just, stoke somebody out all the time. And so, yeah, it's flattering that a lot of people were supportive of the change. And even the ones who, had some crappy stuff to say would be like, dude, I love your stuff, bro. You're sick, but can you get me my money back? Yeah. So it's cool.
So your old site was basically built on another platform. What platform was that?
It was Kajabi. I think that's the way you say it.
And now
Kajabi.
You're doing a full custom developer.
Yeah, you know what? We actually went through it, and Morgan is the one who's got the platform like on tip. Did he tell you what it was?
He basically said he's building a custom platform.
Okay.
So they're coding it all out. You're going from scratch. You're building it.
It's pretty sick. You know why he's doing that? So he can put apps on there. So he can do affiliate marketing. He's got a crazy plan.
So it sounds like you're doing a full build out.
So it's like, you know what's so easy is that when we do the content, I got so much new content. Like people are going to go, oh, but you brought everything out already with your content. I'm like, dude, I got so much new content. And guess what? The stuff he's doing is so sick. Like it's like the content's the easy part.
Yeah.
Me spitting out some BS on the
you
golf
just
swing,
go, man.
It's easy. That's the easy part.
So you're going full custom development. I don't think I'm going to ask you what that costs because we all know that's really expensive. But tell us a little bit about. I think we need to have.
Do you know how much it costs?
Yeah,
I know the range.
You do?
We know how much it ranges.
Yeah, we're going to be doing it in the future. Tell
pretty,
us a little bit. Wait, what's that?
Close to the amount of.
He's gonna make a lot of money, bro.
Yeah, seriously, man.
So he doesn't really care about the cost.
You're funding it yourself. Everything coming out of you.
Yeah. We're good.
So you're paying for it.
Yeah,
you're paying for the build.
We're gonna be paying for it.
This is all the cash under the mattress.
Yeah, all under the mattress.
There we go. Oh man. So tell us a little bit about Morgan and why you chose him.
Because he wouldn't leave me alone.
Really?
Did he approach you?
Yeah, legit. Like he's like a bulldog. He's like, you're getting burned here, you're getting burned here, you're getting burned here.
Did he approach you while you had your own?
No, but I already knew Chad Dietz and Brett Silvernail, which are from the bunker.
Yeah.
They all run the bunker, own the bunker, and it's funny because he'd be like, you should be getting this. So he just made me aware of what was really going on with what business I had, and I appreciate that. You know what I mean? Whether he was trying to get business himself or not, I don't really care. I made the right decision because as bad as it is right now with the changes and all the rest, in 5 years from now, I'm going to look back and go, that was the best thing I ever did.
Yep. Yeah. And I guess also I wanted to ask if your social media, what do you do on a daily basis to build it?
You know what, to be honest, not to hate on social media, I don't really like to be on my phone, and my wife would disagree. She'd be like, you're on it all day long. I'm like, okay, first off, when you work 10 to 12 hours a day and you get off, the first thing you got to do is answer like 50, just 100 texts about golf swings. You know what I mean? So I'm busy doing that, but I really honestly don't like being on my phone. I like posting stuff on Instagram. It's fun for me because people love it, like their own golf swings. But as far as, am I on there like checking shit out all day? No. It would be cool if I had time to do that. I used to have time to do that.
So right now it's just posting.
It's just posting.
Commenting, responding.
No, I'm not commenting much. I try to. Like at night, I'll be like, it's not, I mean, I'll like people because they're like my friends on my thing, and I don't want to be a douche and like not like their stuff or hate on them. I'll just be like, boom, 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 boom. I'll like it. And a lot of times I don't even look at it.
Yeah, but this is like a common thing though, because engagement is, especially now, engagement is
you gotta like your boys
everything, right?
Yeah.
But you get to a point where you get so big that it becomes hard to engage with everyone, right?
Like you.
I deal with the same thing. And
Well,
right now,
you're bigger than I am. You got a lot more followers than me.
Yeah, right now I'm trying to engage with everyone. It's psycho.
It's not even fun.
I could barely do it. So it's like if I post something, I sit down for an hour and do nothing but sit and respond. It's like you have to almost.
Are you serious?
Dude, it's crazy.
That's
dude.
cool. Why don't you wait for like 5 hours and then respond and just put a like by everything?
Because Instagram's algorithm, dog.
Is it?
It's all about engagement early on.
See,
right?
you guys know the game. I just actually put shit out and they just actually go, whatever.
Yeah, so you're like disrupting the space, so everybody wants to jump on you. You don't have to play the game.
I wish
it's like this,
I need to play the game.
How can I break this system? You know,
you're smart, man. I need to learn the game.
Yeah, it's a game though, man. Really
People think, if you know what people ask me all the time, they ask me, how'd you get so many followers? Because in golf world, there's a lot of people who don't follow. Like there's so many golf coaches that look at my stuff and they don't follow me. And then I got so many tour players that follow my stuff look at my stuff that don't follow me. There's so many people that don't follow my stuff, but I can see the engagement. I can see who's actually watching my stuff. I can't see the actual people, but the point I'm making is as much as there is on there, as far as how many people you have watching, I legit could never sit on there all day long.
Yeah.
I mean, I just can't do it. And I can't be like, okay, well, you can start putting the hashtags and stuff there. Yeah. That's what I originally did. And now I stopped even putting my hashtags on just because I'm lazy. And you know what I mean? I'm lazy and everybody's like, well, how did you get so many followers? And I'm like, you know what? It wasn't something I tried to do. It was more of, I just put out good content. And maybe it isn't good content. Maybe it's shitty. Sorry if it's bad. But like legit, I just put my heart and soul into my content and my players, and that's what got it. Rather than me having to play the games in it.
For sure. And I think too, like if it was you trying to promote your golf swing, and you every piece
it would be hard.
It'd be harder. That's what we deal with, right? The fact that you're like helping other people learn how to swing,
that makes it easier.
It more people want to see
different people's success too.
Totally.
It's harder when it's you on you, huh?
Dude, it's so much harder. Yeah, because you run out of shit.
Unless you're Conor McGregor.
Well, yeah.
He's the man.
He has a
Conor
mouthpiece,
McGregor's
right?
just like...
But you're like,
well,
you get to a point
be
where
like
how many videos of me driving the ball can I show, right? It gets boring.
That's why I don't post any of me anymore, because I'm like, dude, these guys got to be...
Hey, I've seen...
Yeah, well,
I sent you the video.
Yeah, you don't see that very much of me anymore because I feel like, people don't want to watch me. So I try not even to be in my videos anymore because I feel like it's cheesy.
Do you notice though when you post videos of you, they engage better or worse?
Way better. But it's
so
still...
then why are you...
Because it's douchey.
Listen to the people, man.
I just can't be douchey like that and be like, hey, look at me, look at me, look at me. You know what I mean? But it is funny. Like even when I did the thing like, hey, this isn't me, GG Swing Tips, as if you hear any comments from GG Swing Tips, I'm George Gankas, blah, blah, blah. I used to be Jesus Swing. People engaged hard. It was cool and it was good to see. But you're right. If it is you actually, repping yourself, you actually do. But if you did that every day, it'd be hard.
I know. What's up with you always trying to outdrive DJ every time you play with him?
It's funny because every time I see DJ, the first time when he steps up on the tee.
So Dustin Johnson, is he number one?
Yeah, he's the man.
He's number one.
He's number one.
He's number one. He's married to Wayne Gretzky's daughter. So he's Wayne Gretzky's son-in-law, which is tight. And every time George plays with him, he goes, "Hey Dustin, 10-1 odds, I'll drive you $1,000, $2,000. What do you think? I got you."
He just laughs at me every time.
And
I'm like, I'm gonna smash this by you. One time we're on 9, and I swear I killed this thing. And he was still, I don't even know how far by, but he was far and he looked like he chipped it. And I swear I smashed this thing 340. I know everybody's going to go bullshit, but I did. On number 9 at Sherwood, I probably had, I remember 65 yards in on Sherwood from the tips. And he had 50 and 45. I was like, what the hell? Like every time I see him, I'm going to smash this by you. And he just looks at me and like, you're an idiot. That's how long he is.
This is George giving his all, and this is DJ basically
just chipping it. That's what he does. Yeah, I get lucky to be able to play with him. Period. The guy's he's such a stud, and it's effortless, man.
Yeah, he's good.
So
it's real good.
Tell us about the new site and where can people find you?
Right now, GG Swing Tips was my old, but it's no longer. It's George Gankas Golf is my handle on Instagram. We have a new YouTube, George Gankas. It was GG Swing Tips. but it's George Gankas Golf across the board on every social media platform.
And Gankas is Gankas.
Yes, 100%.
And so basically, any GG swing tips is not you.
It's
George
not me. If you
Gankas
hear
Golf.
people talking like trying to portray me, which they do, it's not me. If they're trying to sell memberships on my old site, that's not me talking about, hey, I'll get your swing super shallow, or I'll do this, or join my membership group, or join this. That's not me talking.
So if it's
Straight
George,
up, that ain't me.
That's not you.
That's
so George
not me, and I
Gankas
don't
Golf
support
is
that membership. That
yeah.
has nothing to do with me.
So basically, if they want the real George Gankas, it's George Gankas
me.
Golf
Yes.
at George Gankas Golf, and the site will be
And for
georgegankasgolf.com.
those of you guys who have Instagram, that's basically where I'm at most of the time, unless I have people helping me with the other social media stuff. So if you want to ever get a hold of me, that's where I'm at usually when I'm posting stuff. And as far as that social media platform, I will be telling people when the membership's starting up.
Yeah.
And it's going to be coming within a month to 2 months here. I don't know the exact date, but it's coming soon.
Yeah, and those builds usually take a long time. I mean, the way you
They
guys are
do.
doing it, you're doing it right. Building your own platform, your own data, your own finances, all that. So people can look out for that. For now, stay posted on Instagram at George Gankas Golf. And Mike, you got something to say? Sometimes Mikey mean mugs me during interviews.
Do I when you go off? Am I trying to pull it back?
Do you know you have this thing where you shake your head no?
You know what's funny, man? Sometimes I do things I don't realize, and Jen calls me out pretty heavily, and she'll do something like, "Do you like what I'm wearing?" And I'll be like,
And you shake your
"Yeah,"
head no.
and she'll go, "Why were you shaking your head no the whole time?" I'm like, shit. I don't know, man. I don't know, sometimes I do it. I thought it was good though. I don't know why it shook no. Anyway,
So,
go ahead.
no, I was just
I
gonna
Finish
say.
got
this.
a question for
Go
you.
what?
How often are you playing golf?
A full round or at the range?
Just period. How often are you hitting balls and playing golf?
Dude, I'm hitting balls 5-6 days a week.
Lucky man.
Yeah, right now my schedule's like I basically drop the kids off at school, go to the range for 30 minutes, and then drive out to LA.
It's cool.
So,
So how's Mikey's swing?
It's pretty solid.
here we
Actually,
go.
Here we- let's
I
hear
haven't
it.
given him a lesson yet, but he jumped on the mat, and I was like, dude, get on video real quick. And I
Wait,
put
hang
him-
on. So I've been avoiding this pool. Right? I don't even know if I want to go
For like a
down
year
this
until you
path,
get where you
right?
want.
And what's funny is like people see me with him now on my Instagram, and I get DMs from all these kids. You get lessons from Gigi, right? And I'm like, no, actually, he's my boy, but I don't. And everyone's like, wait, he's your boy, but you don't?
No.
And I'm like, dude, it's a long story, man. So I go to the range the other day, and I'm about to play with a buddy. I'm just like hitting balls, and I try to stay away from George. I hit like 10 mats down, and I just hear, Mikey, and I look at George, I'm like, shit. Walk over, and George goes, see what you got, right? And I'm like,
Exactly
here we
right.
go, dude. So he sets me up, right? I swing it, he brings me back, looks at the computer. He's like, look, man, you got to change this. And really like spits a ton of knowledge at me and then goes, do this. And of course I flush it, right? But I'm going to play 5 minutes later. So now I go out and play, and I'm trying to like think of all this shit George told me. I'm shanking the ball. I'm like, no. But every time I'm with George, like my swing, I come in steep. So I'm
Okay.
Every time I see George, I'm like,
He
man,
needs
how
to
do
shallow it
I
out.
how do I
Shallow
shallow
it
it
out,
out?
huh?
Dog?
He's got to
Shallow it out.
But when your butt was so far back,
It's
and
back,
when you
but
move back
what's
in-
funny, he was like this. He was like, "Look, I don't have an athletic." When he was talking about himself, I don't have like an athletic stance. Like my butt's not out. Like when I set up, it's full like ass. It's like trying to do a squat.
Yeah,
you
it's
know.
ours.
And it's funny. I never looked at it, but he was like, "Look at this, man. You look crazy, dog. Step up." So
Yeah.
I stood up and I was closer to the ball, but like I still do have it. I mean, dude, I'm new, and skaters are so heavily on their toes,
Yeah.
right? That's just kind of by nature, which isn't great on golf, right?
Well, because you guys are doing more jumps. Is that correct or no?
Yeah,
Or
like
is it-
when
oh,
we do
yeah.
flip tricks, right? We're on our you're on your toes to like pop
Yeah.
and to flick, right? So we get really good being on our toes. And in golf, like if I'm on my toes, it's almost like I'm falling forward, which is kind of making me
Come steep.
right?
Yeah, you're gonna come into the ball, so all of a sudden you stand up and you put your arms behind you,
Yeah.
and that makes
So
your
I'm
shot
shallow, so
He's trying to get a shot.
I'm trying to
he's
get
trying to get a
shallow,
shot.
man. But dude, it's like
One time he swung it like on my video change his setup, and all of a sudden he was like,
I look pretty good. I got
sick.
comment like, dude, I was on
For
his,
a year. It was super.
I was
like,
on his
unbelievable.
comments. I was on his comments responding to all the kids. You know,
They're like, no way.
I was
dude, You
engaging.
got Mikey Taylor on your actual Instagram.
Yeah,
That's so they
yeah.
do.
Oh, you posted them.
he
I
posted
posted
me.
him on my
Nice.
Instagram.
He posted me, and then I hit like all the boys. Yo, check Gigi's page, dog. I'm live. And then I went through all his comments, hitting the kids, and we're like, damn, that was sweet. Like, yo, thanks, big dog. Appreciate you to everyone. You know,
They love that.
Just engaging.
yeah, I'm just trying to be heard. But I will say this though, because I went down your path, right? When you start your Instagram out, you engage with everyone, right? Because you can handle it. And then my Instagram grew to a point where I was just like, shit, I'm so busy. This thing's so big that I'm just going to put out content, right?
Yeah.
And then with this algorithm change, I couldn't get the numbers I got anymore. I couldn't it kind of forced me back into engaging, which sounds crazy to be forced into it. But now that I'm doing it more, it's crazy how much more you do connect with people, which is the reason for it.
Yeah,
But
100%.
I think I operated it just like I need to get my shit out there. And then now, like with this, it's like, dude, I feel like I've met so many people through it. Like it's kind of there's pros and cons to it, but yeah, dude, it's just hard to
Time-wise,
manage.
it's hard because you're
Time-wise,
doing
it's-
so many things with your life that it is busy. But the opportunities and the people you meet in the way
Is insane, right? Yeah. So like today, like dude, we're trying to like pre-interview for this, and every 5 minutes I'm and he's like, all right, I put it down, and then we talk, and I put it down, and it's fun, it's insane. Anyway,
Yeah, Mikey's on a whole nother level
On
with
another level.
engaging.
you know, I don't like dude, I have a hard time not growing with everything across the board,
I
and on my
agree.
Instagram, I'm not growing, so it drives me crazy. You know,
Yeah.
it's
Dude,
just,
how do you grow from 500,000 followers, bro? How many skaters are there?
you got to reach more people, man.
You're turning
That's what-
actual golfers into
That's why.
skaters.
That's why.
I follow you.
That's
I'm
why
a
I'm trying to
golfer.
chip off some of your golf fans,
That's
man.
right. They love you. I mean, you're like, that's a lot of followers.
Hey, but for real, I will say this, dude, and because I know this dude in real life, exactly what you see, you get. Like he's as authentic as it gets. So,
Sometimes that's not a good thing, but
no, it's great though. It's great.
times.
It's like that, you know.
You can pretty quickly tell when people are not authentic.
Yeah.
Known you for 48 hours, I'm pretty sure you're being straightforward.
You're doing it, buddy. You're
Yeah.
doing it.
All right, dude. Well, hey,
Thank
George,
you, guys.
thank you for coming on.
thank you guys for having me. I had a good
Stoked to
time.
have you, man. Really stoked to have you.
I had a good time.
All right, Tommy Paz. We got to call Tommy. Thank you for doing everything you do. Follow him on social at Tommy Paz. And everybody watching, first of all, thank you, George, for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
And go follow George at George Gankas Golf on Instagram. Gankas, Gankas. If you're watching on YouTube, give us a follow on iTunes. And we love reviews. Reviews help us grow. So please, if you like what you're hearing, leave us a review. And that's a wrap. Mike, you want to say something before we go?
You know, I was gonna say you're fired up right now, man.
You're
trying to
I
end
like
this shit
George,
strong.
dude.
I
George,
do too.
I
George
got
is
fired
good.
up at dinner. I'm getting fired up at the podcast.
Yeah.
George's fun to be around.
George, he's
guys
good.
got the magic.
He's got the juice.
He's got the juice. He's got the magic. George,
guys
thanks
got the
again.
juice.
That's a wrap.